When it comes to the all digital future that's being in by Sony and Take-Two games, a lot of people are reacting to it by saying, I'm just going to get a PC. I'm just going to switch over to PC. If the PlayStation 6 doesn't have a disc drive and it's all digital only, then I may as well go over to PC because that's where all digital games make sense. And of course, that's a popular play. It makes sense on paper, very politically correct, but PC is not safe. It's not immune to the all digital future. All digital future is just the beginning of the mass enshittification of the video game industry. And I've had conversations with people about PC gaming and the change to all digital for PlayStation and all that, and how I think it's just going to get worse once we go to all digital future. It's going to enable these companies to do a lot of things that are anti-consumer now that they're all digital. And a lot of people will say something along the lines of, it's like, well, PC's already been digital for over 10 years now, and I mean, everything's been pretty fine over there. In fact, it's great, so I really don't see it changing anytime soon. And I don't know, I think that's ridiculous because the internet has always been changing, right? I've been alive since before the internet, and now, or at least, mainstream commercial internet. And I know many of you people have been also, and you can tell how the internet has been changing over time. Is it slowing down? Is change taking longer to happen? Yes. But you can also say the same thing about the gaming industry. The gaming industry has been forever changing as well. And PC, consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, what have you, it's all the same gaming industry. And it's the entire industry that is going to inshitify. And again, PC is not immune to this. And I want to go over a couple things right now. One of the mass enshittification and one of just like the security of PC. So this just happened, and just reminding you, a stark reminder of the security behind PC gaming. Valve is warning European Steam hardware customers after its logistics partner CEVA Logistics was hit by a cyber attack. The attack happened between July 29th and August 1st, 2026. Valve says it learned on August 7th that some customer delivery information may have been compromised. The potentially exposed information includes name, street address, city and postal code, country, phone number, email address linked to the Steam account, type and price of the hardware ordered. Valve says payment information, passwords, Steam Guard codes, and other Steam account informations were not affected. Scammers could use the leaked delivery information to send convincing emails, text messages, or phone calls pretending to be Steam, Valve, or a delivery company. They may ask you for information on your delivery, pay fake customs or a redelivery fee, or log into fake Steam websites. Valve says affected customers do not need to change their Steam password or account settings. If you receive suspicious messages about a Steam hardware delivery, don't click any links, go directly to the official Steam support website. All right, first off, I think Valve saying that, I mean, the actual message is here and everything. This is a summary that someone did. But the fact that Valve said that you don't need to change your Steam password, I think is just incredibly irresponsible. I think you should, if you ordered a Steam machine or a Steam controller and you live in Europe, you should probably change your password to be safe. Like, there's no reason not to. But again, that is, and people love Valve and they think they're great and everything, but they're just another company, and you don't know their whole security, right? This is a logistics partner from them, and their security is part of their security network and system. And yeah, maybe with this leak, they can't access your account right now. They are going to try to scamalize people to try to get access to their account. And I mean, this is what I don't like about digital games in general, and why I don't mind game key cards is your Steam games are tied to an account. And if your Steam account gets hacked or stolen or wrongfully banned, you're going to lose all your games. And I know what you're saying. That's not all PC gaming, right? The reason why the all digital future doesn't affect Steam and all that is because there's multiple storefronts. You don't have to buy all your games from Steam. There's Epic Game Store. There's direct from Ubisoft and all that. And I think I think that's cope. I really think that's cope because let's just face it, Steam is the monopoly on PC. Nobody is buying games from Epic Game Store, right? Xbox is releasing Gears of War E-Day on PC and Xbox. And same with the new Halo game, the Halo campaign evolved. Why are they doing that? On Windows 11, there's an Xbox app built into the OS. It comes with it free. And you can get the Xbox games on there, the Xbox Play Anywhere. You can play it on PC. So why even put it on Steam? Why not just force you to use the other launcher? It's because they know you need to be on Steam. Steam is the place, right? There's many different types of PC gamers. That's why it sucks. I do make these videos talking about PC gaming. I do talk about PC gaming, PC gamers, but I do know there are many different kinds of PC gamers, right? You might be a PC gamer who has a Linux machine and all you do is sail the seven seas and emulate games. Maybe you do purchase games, but you only use GOG because you actually own the games. That's cool. Maybe you're a PC gamer who just really wants a Nintendo Switch, but your algorithms and your circles online, the communities that you're a part of, they hate Nintendo. Nintendo's the bad guys, so instead, you decide to buy a Steam Deck and you just emulate all like Game Boy Advance games and GameCube games, and you call yourself a PC gamer. But I think most PC gamers are Steam gamers. Let's be real. I do think that PC gaming, there's a lot of like almost casuals who think they're hardcore that get on PC because it's like some fashion statement. I mean, just look at like graphics cards and stuff, all the anime like graphics cards and all that. I love anime. I do. But I think it's kind of ridiculous to like, I don't know, Freerin just came out like a couple of years ago, and why would I spend like $1,200 on a Freerin graphics card when it's just like the show's not even finished? There's been like one season of the show. I'm like gonna have this build that's gonna last me like 20 years of my life based on that. I don't know. I think it's this massive like just there's this like fashion culture around it. Think of it a lot like Jeeps and people customizing their Jeeps. There's just this huge like fashion thing around PC gaming. It's almost casual, and like that it means they're just going to Steam, right? A lot of PC gamers, a majority of them, I think, are Steam gamers, and being a Steam gamer means everything's tied to your one account, and that's the same with Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. And I don't like that. I don't like having everything tied to my account. My digital library of games. I have games on Steam. Yes, I have a game store games. I only have the free games like everyone else. Like, who's buying games on Epic Game Store? I do have that. I have a little bit of GOG. I got digital games on Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. If anyone those accounts get hacked or banned or anything like that, I don't lose my entire collection. But if you go full in on PC and full in on Steam gaming, that account, whether it's your fault or not, you're leaving those credentials and all that security based on the company, and you don't know what that company's doing. They might be making deals with other third parties like this logistics company, and they get hacked. You're out of luck. It's all gone. And so I don't like that about digital only, and PC is pure digital only. But again, this is an industry-wide problem. So that's one thing, but PC is still just not immune, because when the games and the software itself are what's becoming shitified, that's the biggest problem. So if you haven't checked out my last video, I'll leave a card at the end of this one. It kind of gets a bit deeper into this when it comes to like just ads in games coming out. Once it's all digital, ads and game streaming and all of that. And a lot of that, there hasn't been much pushback or comments on this, but I can't help but think that a lot of that might be geared and be viewed more as through like the lenses of like the PlayStation 6 and the OS of the PlayStation and the store of the PlayStation. But it doesn't have to be just console related. I've seen some comments of people like, well, if this happens, I'm switching to PC. I'm not going to be a PlayStation gamer anymore. But I don't think PC is immune to this by me, because I do think a lot of it is going to be within the software itself. And I want to show this other quote over here that I actually missed that could have been part of that video. And this guy, I think this kind of went under the radar. It went under my radar, so I'm sure it went under many other people's radars. Take-Two CEO sees future growth in gaming happening, and even is excited for new ways to monetize their audience. So Game Beats was interviewing them. He's like, do you think you could push deeper into the mass culture? And he said, undoubtedly. I think we're just scratching the surface still, both in terms of the size of the audience and the monetization of that audience. So he straight up says it. He's like, I think we're just scratching the surface on monetizing that audience. You're seeing stuff like, the digital only code and box, $100 deluxe edition. Deluxe edition is really just the actual game. You have the Netflix deal that's coming out and streaming it on Netflix. There's getting a bag of money through that. Probably gonna have in-game ads, and they're talking about stuff like, well, you have to sign into accounts, so who cares if it's digital only at that point? And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people like go to PC and just sail the seven seas, but I don't think it's immune to that when it comes to when the software itself, let's say it requires an account to be logged in, and inside of the game has a lot of web services that connect to a backend server for stuff like playing ads and stuff. I think it's going to get to this point where trying to just, pirate these games isn't going to be as straightforward. Maybe there will be some effort from modders and all that to take the game, and it's not going to work because it needs an account login, or you run it. Maybe there's asset streaming going on, or there's there's ads playing, and there's web service that can't connect because you pirated it and it's not working. Maybe like the modders can like fix that up and get like a working build going. That's going to be a lot more friction in terms of that. And yeah, I think like every game, like you said, They're just scratching the surface of monetization. What is the most obvious way to make more money from games? Stop sharing, which is, I buy a game and I share it with my family. Did that with Animal Crossing. Bought one copy. Me and my wife played that same copy. It was great. Nintendo nipped that in the butt. You can't do that anymore. So it's like and Grand Theft Auto is doing that with GTA 6 with the code and box digital only. If you want to play the game, you have to pay for the game. You can't just borrow someone else's copy once they finish the campaign and then let you play it. No, you have to pay for it. And then you think that like piracy, there's going to absolutely be a war on piracy. Like, you think it's going to just be free in this way forever? Absolutely not. That could still get you by. Like if you want PC and do that for free and play Game Boy Advance games and GameCube games for the rest of your life, it'd be a good life, by the way. I'm not knocking on that. I'm just saying, I'm talking about the future of gaming moving forward with the gaming industry. I think that the absolute most obvious thing is, oh, I'm just going to pirate it. Like they're going to push back on that and ingraining into the games themselves account logins, which they're already doing, but then like ad services so that way you can pull that. And that's of course all saying that you can buy the game, rent the game and install it locally on your PC. But with the hardware prices going up, they already said on the open that they want to move more towards game streaming within the next 3 years. And I don't think that's a console exclusive thing. It's like, oh well, the PlayStation 6 is $1,500, no one can afford that, so we're going to offer a streaming option. Like if you're a hardcore dedicated fan, you can buy the hardware and do that, or you can stream it, which maybe most people will end up doing. That is just streaming, and they can monetize you more. They want you to stream the games, and if you're streaming the games, you can't download it to then clone it or copy it and put the files out there for other people to download it. It's stuck, locked behind that wall that's streaming, and it can change at any time. There's no preserving it. And again, I'm not like the biggest on preservation, but I do want to be able to like play a version of the game of how I remember it. That's my biggest thing with like mobile games when they get taken down. Like, I just want to be able to play like Infinity Blade like on my iPhone. I can't do that. It's not available on current iPhone, or Gears Pops. As much as that game wasn't that great, there's no way I can play that game. And I don't know. I don't like that with game streaming. And I think the hardware requirements for games and keep going up as developers are enabled to be lazier and lazier. It's like, oh, you need a 5080 to play this game, but nobody has 5080s. They all have PCs that were built 10 years ago. And what are they going to do? Well, even PC gamers can stream. Why can't a PC stream, right? Like you don't have to just be on a smart TV or have like a Fire Stick to do game streaming. You can stream on a PC. You have a very powerful PC. Good for you. But you're probably not going to use it locally because everything's going to move towards streaming. I don't know. I don't think PC is immune to this. It is a gaming industry issue. And even if you think everything's been good with PC for the past 10 years, I don't think it's going to be the same for the next 10 years. And you're not a console gamer. You don't care about physical games. You should care about this. You should really care about this. And like even GTA 6, right? Like it's going to console first and then PC, right? So it's like, I don't know. It's not like they're prioritizing PC by any means. The console space is what's going to drive your PC gaming. Indie games. Okay, I just won't play AAA games. I'll just play indie games. Hardware, everything's going up. I think it's gonna be harder for someone to justify like making an indie game, like your good indie games, like Hades or something like that. Like have an operation like that takes years and costs real money. Operating as a small business, just small businesses in general, as the price of like computer hardware goes up, of services going up, and the tools used to make a game, cost of living. That means you need to pay higher like payrolls and all that to just make even an indie game. There's probably gonna be less and less indie games that come out. Yeah, sure, they'll go to PC and probably not have like your ad streamings and all that. But I think just realistically, there's gonna be less and less indie games that actually make it to surface just because of the cost to make them is gonna go up. And so I don't know. I don't think it's great in terms of the future of gaming. Future gaming might just be retro, but I don't think PC is just this immune thing. So if you're a PlayStation fan, you think you're going to go to PC and everything's going to be good moving forward. I don't think that's the case. I think you need to rethink it, think a little harder about it. It's equally not as safe as other places. Are there things you can do in effort to work around that for anything that's been released up to today? Yes. And it's a good option to have. I'm not saying don't. I have PC. I have PC gaming. It's part of my library, my portfolio of games. I have backups. I don't engage with it all the time, but I make sure I have it. I have Steam. I have Epic Game Store games, the free ones. I have GOG games. I have my Doomsday hard drive of everything needed for emulation. I have all that. I don't engage with it all the time, but and I think that's a good thing to have built, and that's something you should build sooner rather than later. But in terms of the future of gaming, I don't think it's a safe place. It's just as unsafe as all the consoles, as everything else. And so with that, and this is all because of that balance breaking, physical games going away and this all digital future being enabled. It's going to change everything industry wide. PC gaming and console gaming are part of the same gaming industry. And a lot of it, I think, is going to be baked into the software, not necessarily any of these platforms' OS. I think it's going to be more and more baked into the software. And that software is going to be on console and PC for most of those games that aren't exclusives. And it's going to be just as shitified no matter where you play. So, man, it's always so weird saying like the video at the end for these just like not great videos. But I mean, if you subscribe if this was helpful and made you think. If you liked the video, see you in the next one. Later.